guys, welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. It's Monday night and we're going to do a bit of a flow tonight with some twists. So a lot of the poses that we're going to do is just kind of the regular poses, but we'll add a bit of a twist into most of them and maybe do some back bends as well tonight. So let's get started. You just need your mat and water bottle, and other than that, just yourself. If you're used to using blocks and props or straps, just have those nearby. So let's get started on the mat. We're going to start in Sukhasana in a cross-legged position. So come onto your mat. If you're used to, if this feels too awkward for you or you haven't done your practice in a while, then go ahead and slip a block underneath your bottom or prop yourself up on a cushion, just so that so that you can tilt your pelvis forward and that you can sit up nice and straight. So we're going to start with the hands onto the knees, just facing, palms facing down onto the knees. And we'll start with cat-cow here. So we're going to start with rounding the spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest, and the tailbone tucks under as well. So exhale here, and then we're going to inhale, rock forward, lift your chest forward, and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Really try to pull the shoulder blades together and draw the shoulders back. Okay, so keep flowing here, exhaling and inhaling. And you're just kind of keeping your hands onto your knees so that you can move into the pose and just grounding your legs down here so that you can freely move. So don't forget about your shoulders there. So try to exaggerate that movement, pull them up and drop them or pull them back. Draw them forward and draw them back. Okay, now we'll start a circle movement. So we're going to move forward, inhaling, and then exhaling as your back rounds a little bit. That's your exhale. Inhale forward, a little bit of extension, then exhale. Back moves into a little bit of a flexion. So we're just picking one direction to move into first, and then we'll switch it up. So as you're moving, just kind of get those shoulders loosened up even more, inhaling, and just roll them up to the ears and drop them down and back. The airways open, freely breathing. Okay, switch the direction. Same breath pattern. Inhale forward and exhale back. Okay, one more. Coming forward, back. Okay, and then sitting up straight, lift the arms up above your head, and then twist to the right. Left hand onto your right knee, and the right hand comes back behind you. So looking over your right shoulder, sitting up nice and tall. Breathing deep. Inhaling, lifting tall into your posture, and exhaling, sinking down through the sit bones. And releasing and reach up to the arms. Inhale, exhale over to the other side, looking over to your left. Breathing deep. Inhaling, lifting tall. Exhaling, getting a little bit deeper into your twist. All right, releasing out of that and then reaching up with both arms. Inhale and then exhale, reaching forward and bowing forward, dropping the head. And breathing into the stretch. Should feel the stretch into the hips and in through the back here. Walk yourself over to the right side, reaching at an angle. Maybe your head rests onto your knee, or just draw your head closer to your knee. And then over to your other side, to the left, and bowing down towards the knee. Okay, come on back to center, and then rise up from there. Take the hands back behind you, and then your fingers could either be pointing out to the sides or just right pointing towards your tailbone or somewhere in the middle there. And then arch back, looking up at the ceiling. If that feels okay on the neck, the chin can also stay tucked in towards the chest. Shoulder blades pulling together behind you. And one more deep breath, inhale, and then exhale. Okay, so either rocking forward so that you're in tabletop position, or just spin around so that you're in tabletop position. On all fours, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Begin moving around in a circle motion. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Bend into your elbows, move around in your shoulders. Just kind of try to create a little bit more mobility as we move along here, loosening up. Really important as we get before we begin, especially if you haven't practiced in a while, if you've taken that holiday, just getting back into it nice and slow. Back to center, tabletop position. Lift your right arm out to the right or up to the ceiling, and then take your right arm underneath your left and drop your head. Lean forward so that your head can come onto the ground. Side of the head, temple resting on the floor. Breathing deep here. We'll visit this again. We're not going to stay too long. This first one, just getting into that first deep twist. You feel that across the back and shoulders. On your next inhale, go ahead, press up and come out, and then switch sides. The left arm, bring it out to the side or reach up to the ceiling, and then take it under into a figure four kind of style here. Twist. Breathing deep. All right, pressing up. Next, here, bring it back to tabletop position. So we're going to lift the left leg back and reach your right arm forward, finding the bird dog position. And then bring the elbow to the knee to elbow, or hand to the knee, and tuck in, holding that. Give a good squeeze, pull that knee in, and then reach away. See if you can lift a little bit higher, and then bring it in again. Hold onto the knee or holding onto the shin here, and pull in, tuck in, round the spine, push down through this left hand here, and then reaching out. A little bit higher, and one more time, holding in, tuck, round the upper back, and reaching out. Bring the right hand to the floor and swing the left leg out to the left here, and then start walking forward. Reaching with the arms, bring the forehead maybe down to the floor. And then slowly rise back up. Walk your hands back towards yourself and come up onto the shin and come up for gate pose. Reaching up with the arms, then drop the left arm down to the left leg. Leaning over to the left. Try to keep the belly button facing straight forward. Chest facing straight forward to the top of your mat. And hips facing straight forward so that you're just feeling this on the right side of your body. All right, and then releasing out, and then going over to the other side here, planting that left, I'm just going to turn around on the side, planting the left hand down to the floor, and then the right hand down to the floor, the left arm is reaching over here. Now if you want to, you can lift up this left leg, and just encouraging your hip to work a little bit harder, building that strength in the outer hip. Totally normal to feel cramping. And then bring that leg down, and then press yourself back up, reaching up. Now we're going to turn towards the left leg and bow to the knee. So just reaching, head just dropping towards the knee. Okay, walking back, walking hands back onto your mat, bring your knee back in, back to tabletop pose, and then we're going to come up, tuck your toes under so you're on your knees and shins, and then we're going to spin to the left with your right arm crossing your chest, and your left arm reaching back, and then spin to the right. Left arm crossing your chest, right arm reaching back, okay? Over to the left side, over to the right side. Back to the left, back to the right. Now we're going to go over to the left and bring your left hand down to your left heel and reach with your right arm. Looking over the shoulder, just looking down, hips pressing forward. Glutes engaged here, pressing the hips into extension, and then drop your right arm across your face, coming down, and then lift yourself up, reaching up with the arms, and then going over to the other side. The right hand touches down to the ankle, heel, and looking over the shoulder, hips pressing forward. Left arm passes down across your face, and then you're coming back up, reaching up with both arms, inhale, and then exhale, drop it down, walk your hands forward so that you're back in tabletop, untuck your toes, and then switch your side. So your right leg is going to be reaching back, and your left arm is going to be reaching forward. Bring the knee to the hand to the knee, hold on to the shin or knee, pull in around the spine. Reach forward, get a little bit higher, a little bit longer, and then bring it in again. Tuck your chin, pull the knee way up and in, and then reach away. A little bit higher, and then bring it in again. And reaching away. Forward, get long, and then release the left hand down, swing the right leg out to the right, walk your hands forward so you're in that variation of puppy pose on this side. Head either floating above the floor or resting on the floor. The outer right ankle should be reaching down to the floor, sealing down to the floor. That leg, right leg, is engaged in this position. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, rise up, walk your hands in and up all the way to gate position, reaching up with the arms, and drop your right hand down to your right leg and lean over to the right side and keep breathing here. All right, and then releasing out and going over to the left side. Plant the left hand to the floor and the right arm's reaching up. So like before here, you can lift that other leg up. You can lift up the right leg this time, building that strength in the outer hip on that right side. Breathing long through the spine here. And set the foot down if it's up. Press yourself back up with both arms. Inhale, lift up, turn towards that right knee and bow the head towards the knee. And then releasing, coming back up, bring that shin back in, the right shin back in, tuck the toes back under here, and then we'll reach up with both arms, inhale, and then again we'll go over, twisting to the left side first. Your right arm is going to cross your chest, and then over to the other side. Breathing deep. All right. Okay, and then coming back to center, reaching up with the arms. Take that left hand onto the left heel, and over you go. Leaning back. If you would like to this time, face forward and look up at the ceiling. And that means that shoulder pulls back over to the right side. Right shoulder pulls back to the right. And hips pressing forward. So a little bit of a deeper back bend here. To come out, look, turn to the left side, let the arm pass across your face and come out of that back bend. Reaching up with both arms, we'll go to the other side. Keep your hips pressing forward, leaning to the left side now, right side, sorry, and then you can also look up at the ceiling and let that shoulder, left shoulder pull back to the left. Hips equally pressing forward. Glutes are turned on here, so pushing forward, pushing the hips into extension, protecting your low back. Look over to the right side to come out. Let the hand drop down across your face and come out, reaching up with both arms. Inhale, and then exhale, just bring it down and walk yourself forward. This time come onto the forearms. Untuck your toes and move around in a circle motion. Pick a direction to move into, go 3 or 4 times, and then switch the direction. Go the opposite. Keep your core engaged as you're doing this. Okay, and then back up to tabletop position. From here, we'll go to downward facing dog. So spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes under, and lift the hips. Walk it out. Drop your head, look back at your feet there, pedaling it out, stretching the calves out here as we go. Try to really push the weight back into the legs so that you do feel the stretch in the calves and the hamstrings. Shoulders definitely will feel this position as well. All right, go ahead, look forward and then step up to the hands and just fold forward. Breathing into the back here, knees a little bit bent. Pick the toes up, spread them wide, drop them back onto the floor. Breathing into your back. Come back to your center and then start to rise up, slowly curl up till you're standing and then lift the arms above your head. Take a deep breath in and then open up the arms and swan dive, come down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way and reach up. Bring the hands to your heart, clasp your fingers and press down. Lift the arms up. Take the hands back behind you and clasp your hands behind your back. Pull the arms back, look up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, clasp and press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands back. Inhale, pull into extension. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up all the way. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale it in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. Inhale, no side bend. Exhale, hold that side bend, but keep breathing. Come back to center and then go to the other side. Ground through the feet, keep breathing. Come back to center and then take the hands back behind you. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Pull the arms back, move into extension, then bow forward with straight legs and bow down to the center. Breathing into those shoulders. Try to relax your face and just notice your weight in your feet. If you're pulling back into the heels or you're moving really forward, try to even that out so you're just evenly centered in your feet. And then lift up all the way, reaching up with the arms. Inhale, exhale, hands to the heart. Now turn your toes out and your heels in and come down into squat, pulling the hips way back there. Drop your left forearm down to your left thigh and reach up with your right arm. Turn this direction. So you're down in this sumo squat or horse squat, reaching up with the arm, and then go to the other side. Drop your right forearm down onto your right thigh. Try to keep the weight back into your heels. Now go down to the other side, going a little bit further if possible, reaching down to the floor on the inside part of your right or your left knee there. Pull the hips way back. Pull back through the right shoulder. Go over to the other side. And then coming all the way out of this position, stand, reach up, give your legs a shake, and releasing. Stepping to the top part of your mat. Sweep arms above your head. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor and step your right foot back. Drop your right knee down to the ground and sweep the arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into plank pose, lower through, chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra and then come back into downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, left knee down. Arms sweep up, inhale. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step forward to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. the floor, reach up with your arm. Hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra. Come back into downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, right knee down to the floor. Inhale, exhale, hands down, step forward to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up all the way. We'll keep flowing. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back, right knee down to the floor. Arms reach up. So what we're going to do is kind of similar to do that camel position. We're going to sweep to the right, and the left arm is going to cross the chest, and your right arm is going to reach back. Okay, and then we're going to sweep to the left and do that same thing. Now try to keep that left knee tracking straight forward. I know it's going to be kind of tricky as we're holding this position. It wants to kind of cave into the center, but try to keep it going straight forward there. To the right here, just holding that. One more breath. And then coming back to center and reaching up with the arms. Inhale, exhale, hands down. Step back and lift that left leg. Now kick it under the right. And float in that side plank with the floating bottom leg. You can also drop it to the floor or any side plank modification. Then come out, spin back around, and then lower through chaturanga. And lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back into downward facing dog. Walk it out. Let's step the right foot forward. Bring the left knee down to the floor and reach up with the arms. Okay, so similar, we're going to the left side first, and the right arm is going to cross the chest, reaching with your arms. Okay, let's go to the other side. Just nice and slow. You'll find that one side is going to feel stickier than the other. That's fine. You're just taking these little twists to get more mobile through the body, challenging the core, challenging the hip flexor, and all the stabilizer muscles. Okay, holding that left side now. Reaching, especially this, the right arm is going to be tough. It's going to feel like there's a big pull. That's normal. Okay, release. Reaching up with the arms. Inhale, exhale, hands down. And then we're going to take that right foot back, right leg. Right leg's going to kick underneath the left. Here for the side plank. Floating bottom leg. Or any variation, modification you want to take. Come out, flip around, and do the plank pose over through chaturanga. So take it into up dog or cobra, and then take child's pose. Bring the knees down and settle back. Breathe into the spine, deep breaths in, deep breaths out. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly rise up to tabletop, come up into downward facing dog, walk it out. Look forward, step or hop up to the hands. So now, at the top of the mat, we're going to go to Utkatasana, reaching the arms forward. Pull way back through the seat. Rock back onto your heels, maybe even float your toes. Bring the hands to your heart. Twisting now to the right side. Take the left elbow onto your right knee. Okay, now look down. If this is what all you can do is just cross the arm without making that prayer position, that's fine as well. This is the the pose if you go to if you cannot do the prayer position, the prayer twist. All right, releasing out of the twist, and then stand, fold forward. Breathe into the back. Go to the other side, so coming down to Utkatasana first, reaching through the arms, hands to the heart. Let's twist to the left side. Right elbow crosses onto the left knee, or your arm crosses across your lap and your left hand is on your hip. Try to keep even through your shins as best as you can. All right, releasing out of that twist. Fold forward, shake it out. Slowly rise up all the way to standing with the arms above your head. Inhale, exhale, come on back down to chair position. Twisting to the right side again. I'm just gonna turn this way. So, actually, I'm gonna turn this way. So, twisting to the right side here. What we're going to do is shift the weight to the right foot and take that left foot back. You're just balancing. Squeeze your inner thighs together, and I'll show you through this view. Squeezing the inner thighs together. Pull the right shoulder back. Keep holding. And then bring the foot down and let it go out of the twist. Fold forward. Rise up all the way. Deep breath in. Stretch it out and then bring it back down. Let's go to the other side. Twisting to the left side. So right elbow crosses. Now shift the weight to that left foot and slip that right foot out. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Go ahead, keep looking down to keep your balance there. Otherwise you can look to the left. Pulling the shoulders back, especially that left shoulder down and away from the left ear. All right, bring the foot back onto the floor. Unwind, fold forward, rise up. Stretch arms above your head and breathe, holding that upward salute here. Press your hips forward. Bring your hands onto your hips now, and then shift halfway forward. With your hands, pull your hips way back so you have a flat back. You're just halfway leaning forward. Keep your hands on your hips and fold all the way down to your furthest extension or flexion in your spine. And then release your hands down to your feet. From here, we're going to take the big peace sign fingers and wrap them around the big toes, folding forward. If you can't do that, you can bend your knees to do that as well. You don't have to have your legs perfectly straight, and you can separate your feet so they're hip distance apart if they're not already. Dropping the head, breathing. To open up the spine even more, think about bending your elbows and pulling your collarbones apart, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Breathing into that space. And then releasing. Slowly rise up all the way. Reaching up, stepping to the top part of your mat. Sweeping arms above your head. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, jump or step back. Find plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra. Holding up dog or cobra for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back to downward facing dog. Walk it out. halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold forward, inhale, rise up all the way. All right, next one is knee up with a twist, or hand to big toe pose with a twist. We're gonna start with the right knee, pull it up, hold on to the knee, and just tuck it in here. This is the first one. For the knee up with a twist, we're gonna hold on to the right knee with the left hand, and then the right hand's going to come onto the right hip, and then you're gonna slowly twist your upper body to the right. Eventually reaching back with your right hand, right arm, and just face this way to show. So I'm pushing my hand into my knee into my hand, trying to keep balance that way. For the hand to toe version, you're holding onto the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, and you're straightening the leg, and you're reaching out, looking over the right shoulder. Try to lift up tall here as best you can so you don't sink into the left hip too much. You want to lift out of the hip as best as you can. All right, and then releasing out of that position. Okay, shake it out, and we'll go to the other side right away here. So balancing on your right foot, and then we'll take up the left knee. So hold on to it, find your balance. You want to lean back a little bit, kind of get engaged there. When you're ready, take your left hand to your left hip, and then start to turn your upper body to the left, eventually reaching your left arm straight back. Breathing here. So definitely recommend that as a starting. And if you can't quite straighten if you try to straighten your leg and it doesn't quite work, you can always do the halfway version. So you can be here and still lean back, as long as you're not leaning forward and trying to do this weird position. Okay, don't do the in between. If you can stand up straight and keep your knee bent and hold on to your foot, then that's great. Maybe you can't reach your arm out quite yet, but start somewhere where you can get a tall posture, and it should feel good because it is a twist in your body. It is a twist helping your hip flexors to open up a little bit here, and it does require some flexibility in your hamstrings to get the straight leg version of the position, and definitely some practice. Keep lifting out of the posture, lifting tall, and that's it. Okay, we'll release from there, stepping to the top part of the mat, sweeping arms above your head, and exhale, folding forward, inhale halfway lift, exhale, jump or step back into plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Lift into up dog or cobra, and then come back into downward facing dog. So next is fallen triangle version here, a little bit of a twist. We're going to lift the right leg back up high in the sky, and then pivot your left foot so that the toes are pointing to the left. And then we're going to kick the right leg underneath the left leg, and then kick it way out to the side. So you're in the split position, and then it's kind of a back bend. We're gonna lean back into the right and reach back with the left arm. Opening the chest, pull the bottom shoulder under so you have some support underneath you. You're not crashing down, hips are not down, you're pushing up. Now push down through the left foot like crazy to pop the hip up. And then we're going to close. So we're going to start by putting the left hand down, and there's your twist, and then undoing your legs, and kick your right leg up, and then take your right leg now over top of the left leg, and spin around to wild thing position. So your left leg is straight, and your right knee is bent, and you want to push down through your right foot to pop your hip here, and then your glutes are turned on, they're engaged, so you're putting yourself into an extension. Looking down at the left arm here, and the right arm is just hanging overhead. And then spin around, kick that leg up, and then lower down through chaturanga. So lifting into up dog or cobra. Come back into downward facing dog. And we'll go to the other side. Start with the left leg lifting high. Pivot the right foot so the toes are pointing to the right. And then kick that left leg under, way off your mat, splitting the legs, and rotate open so that your chest is open, maybe even to the ceiling, pulling your right shoulder back here, and your support is underneath your left side here. So your shoulder girdle really pulling up, and same with a lot of energy through your right leg, pushing down to pop the hip up. Close the arms first, spin out the leg so that the leg is reaching up now, and then turn and flip over. Take that leg over to the right now. To wild thing, left leg is straight, right knee is bent, and then pull that right shoulder under so that you hop up. So this is down here, and then when I activate this underneath here, the right side, pull the right shoulder down to the hip, that's when I can get the energy to lift up and put myself into an extension. So it's a little bit of a side plank, it's a little bit of a back opener or back extension as well. Look up at the ceiling, you can look down at the arm, let that top arm just drape alongside your ear. So it's a big side opener. To come out, let the hand come down first, pop up that leg, left leg nice and high, then come through chaturanga to up dog or cobra, and then take your rest, come to child's pose, bring the knees down and settle back and keep breathing here. All right, on your next inhale, start to rise back up to tabletop, and then let's come up all the way to downward facing dog. Start walking it out again. Breathing deep, paddling it out, maybe shaking the hips side to side. Look forward at your hands and step up to them. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold, and inhale, rise up all the way, reaching up, exhale. So I couldn't do a class with a twisting theme without doing eagle pose. You're all twisted up in that position. So here we go, feet are hip distance apart, hands to the heart, and let's sink down, finding that chair pose to start. We're gonna balance on the left foot. So take that right knee over top of the left knee and twist up the legs. So maybe your foot wraps around the ankle, maybe you're here in more of a figure four position, that's fine. So to start where you're at, arms are open, now the left arm crosses over the right. And maybe you're just hugging the shoulders if you're beginning this position, but your arms are crossed across your chest, and therefore pulling your shoulders forward, kind of rounding your spine a little bit, but mostly getting your back open. Otherwise, taking your forearms vertical here and pulling your forearms and elbows away from your face. Breathing deep. Try not to round your back. Try to keep your chest lifted and your elbows lifting. And then we're going to stand and just straighten the legs. and so that the legs are crossed, that right leg over the left leg. Now we're going to open up the arms and take the hands back behind, clasping your fingers behind your back. Pull back. Breathe into that extension and bow forward. Pull the hips back as you bow. So once again, soften the jaw in this forward fold. Try to relax your facial muscles and keep consistent breath happening. Slowly start to come up, reaching the arms above your head, bringing the hands to your heart. Now we're going to unwind that right leg and then kick it forward. And then we're going to swing it back and tip forward and move into airplane position. Reach out through the arms. Okay, half revolved half moon is next for our next twist. Your right hand is start to come down. So you can bring your left hand onto your hip and then touch down with your right hand onto a block if you wish. So once you've got that contact, then you can start rotating from there. So it's the upper body that's rotating. You can look over the shoulder. You can reach up with that left arm if you want. Basically your hips are staying square. It's your upper body that's rotating from abdomen to the ribcage to the shoulder to the neck. And head. Keep lifting the head forward. And then release, bring the hand down so that you're out of that rotation, and then we're just going to step a big step back. So without right foot touching the floor, bring your left knee or right knee down to the floor, and then we'll take it up with the arms. So prayer twist here, lunge prayer twist, hands to the heart. Inhale and exhale, twisting to the left. Okay, and you could be here just like we did in our Utkatasana twist. If you're going deeper, then you're in that prayer twist. Hands, thumbs more to the center of your chest. If you want to extend, lifting up that back leg and move this into the high lunge twist, then you can go ahead. You can also open your arms up by placing your hand down and just kind of leaning into that outer knee there to really twist through the abdomen there. Remember, keep reaching back through that through that right leg. Okay, come on out of that twist and bring the hands to the floor. Step back to plank pose, lower through chaturanga. Bring it into up dog or cobra, and then come back to downward facing dog, walking it out, breathing it out. Look forward at the hands and step up to them. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold, and inhale, rise up all the way. Exhale. Second side, starting in eagle pose, starting in your chair position, feet just hip distance apart. So balance on the right foot this time. The left foot is going to come up over. Left knee come up over the right knee. And then when you're ready, the right arm crosses over top of the left arm. And that left elbow scoops up that right elbow. Pulls it up and then pulls it forward so you're getting that stretch across your back. Focus on your breath. Keep those deep breaths happening. Keep that focus happening. Alright, and then standing, just slide the legs straight here. So the left leg still crossing over the right. Now open up the arms and take the hands back, clasping behind. Move into that back extension. Inhale, exhale, bow forward, hips pull back, where your right foot is at. We're gonna lift that left foot off, straight forward, swing back, tip forward, airplane position. Reaching out through the arms. So here we're going to revolve half moon. The left hand is going to touch down to the floor. So the right hand can stay on your hip when you make contact. And then when you found your ground, when you found your space there, then you can expand from there. So think about lengthening forward through the crown of your head, reaching back through your left leg. So feel the power in your leg. Try to kick that back wall. And really getting that rotation happening here. Hips are locked in place. And the upper body here is kind of free to rotate. And then releasing, bring your right hand down to the floor and step back. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Reach up with your arms. Hands to your heart, ready to go to prayer twist on the right side. Here's the left elbow onto your right knee. So again, just getting into whatever position you'd like to get into, modifying as you do. Opening the arms if you want to go a little bit deeper. Remember to keep a really strong left leg here, pushing out through the heel, back of the knee. And go ahead and release. Hands down to the floor, step back into plank pose. Lower down through chaturanga. Lifting to up dog or cobra. Let's hold this position for 5. Pull the shoulders way back. 3, 2, and 1. So what we're going to do is just come right down onto the belly from here. Take a little bit of a rest here. You can bring one cheek to the floor and just rest for your 4 minutes. For a few breaths. Okay, next we're going into bow position. So when you're ready, you can lift up, you can bend into your knees, you can stay in this position if you would like. Okay, the next variation here, moving up the progression, is grabbing on to your feet and dropping your head down to the floor. So you can be here. If you just want more of a quadricep and hip stretch, then you can do that. If you want the full thing, the upper body and the lower body stretch and extension, then you're activating that stretch and you're pulling your feet back so that you're opening your shoulders and your chest, looking forward and just breathing. So you end up kind of rocking onto your abdomen, just below your abdomen there, and breathing there. All right, releasing down, one leg at a time, and you can release your forehead to the floor or cheek to the floor. Okay, so next we're going to go into a shoulder stretch, a quite intense shoulder stretch here, involving a twist. I'm going to face this way. So what you're going to do is with your right arm, you're going to cross it across your chest, bend into your elbow, and you're not going to lay your throat right on your shoulder or bicep because you don't want to cut off any circulation and pass out here. So you want to kind of keep active, but you do want to push down your weight down so that you do feel the stretch in your shoulder blade right side. So that's the first one. And then your left or your right hand here is just gonna rest on your left shoulder blade. So that's the first step here. So if this feels like a really intense stretch, then you can just stay there. The next one is you're going to take your left arm and you're going to bend it behind so that you can bind back behind you, so you can hold on to your fingers, or you can just kind of do a half bind. So your palm is facing up on your back. Okay, you're putting your left shoulder into external rotation by doing that. Okay, so that's the next one. And then the final one is you're just taking your left knee and you're just sliding it up. Okay, so you're just getting a little bit of a hip stretch as you're doing this. And then resting down. So again, my chin is not touching the floor, but I'm not letting the weight of my head rest on my shoulder as well. So I'm not compressing my throat or my neck in any way. But I do feel the stretch should feel out through the tricep, the shoulders, definitely are feeling something. So try to breathe as best you can. Take another 2 deep breaths in and out. All right, and then releasing. So releasing your arm bind and then bringing your knee down, releasing your right arm out. Okay, now just resting here by looking to the right and kind of cactusing your arms out. So breathing deep there. And your shoulders just kind of neutralize for a moment. And then we'll start the other side. So it's the left arm that's going to go underneath here. So you're just gonna give yourself a pat on the back. Just think of it that way. So the left hand is going to go on the right shoulder blade. So again, that's kind of the first one. And then you're just letting your weight kind of fall forward as you feel comfortable. And again, you can kind of control that with just how much weight you are putting forward into your head, or bowing your chin down to your bicep there. So again, the next progression is you're taking your right arm, doing a half bind, putting your shoulder in external rotation, and just putting your palms going to be facing up on your back, or you're actually binding, grabbing on to your left hand with your right fingers, and that's at your back. The contact point will be kind of right at your shoulder blade. And then that final position is you're going to sneak up through that right knee now. The right knee is just going to kind of half frog, and you're holding there. Breathing deep. Another 2 or so breaths. All right, releasing out of the bind and releasing out of your cross, and then just looking now to your left arm and resting, cactusing the arms. One more deep breath in and out. And next we'll go into more of a Sphinx position. If you want, you can slide your arms more forward so that they're straight. Otherwise, you can kind of walk them in a little bit, or you can just bend your elbows so that your elbows are down to the floor. Just kind of depends on what you want in that low back and chest stretch. So breathing, you shouldn't feel any pain at all in your low back, by the way. Pressing your hips down, legs are extended out, tops of the feet pushing down to the floor. Take another deep breath in, and then lower. Hands underneath your shoulders now so that you can press your self up to tabletop position, and then drop your forearms down to the floor, and then we'll just roll out those shoulders like we did at the beginning of class. So both directions, move forward, move back, just kind of move intuitively to how you feel, kind of unkinking, getting the blood flow. All right, and then back to center, back to tabletop position. So from here, let's spin around so that we're on the seat. Okay, we'll start with extending the left leg out and then holding onto the right knee. Cross that right foot over onto the outside of the left knee now. Twisting to the right side. Right hand comes back behind you. Sit up nice and tall. Or the outer left elbow goes on the outside of the right knee there. Okay, and then releasing out. Bring the right foot on the inside part of the left leg. Bring that right hand back behind you. This time rock up onto the right shin and lift up through the hips. And let's open the body. Side plank variation. The hips are pressing up, the glutes are engaged. And then we can release down. Switching to the other side. The left leg is going to extend out, and the right leg's going to extend out, and the left knee is going to bend. Cross that foot over into the outer right knee. Twisting to the left side. Hug the knee, or take the elbow on the outside of the left knee, and rotate. Looking over your shoulder, lift up nice and tall. Keep your right foot flexed, engaged. The seat pressing down into the mat. Releasing out of that twist. Bring the foot now on the inside part of the left leg. Place the left hand back behind you, and then use your right arm a little bit as a leverage tool to lift up and put yourself into an extension. Drop your head back, keep breathing. Breathing into the belly. Try to really get that breath going. And then go ahead and release. All right, so next is cow face position. Your right leg is going to be on bottom and your left knee will be on top. So if your left knee is just pointed way up here and you can't get it down, then you can kind of move into a double position where your shins are stacked on each other, or put your left shin in front of your right shin for Sukhasana. You can sit on a block for this position as well. Even if it's just a little bit of a cushion, it might make a difference in your hip flexibility actually. Then you're not putting your back so much into it, and you're not sinking way into your lumbar spine here. It allows your hips to lift up so that you can lean forward and actually get into your hips as opposed to your back. Anyways, Gomukhasana, legs, just the legs position here for the hip stretch is what we're going for. So Sukhasana or the double pigeon, again, the right shin will be on the bottom, or the right leg on the bottom, the left leg is on the top. So if you're in the Gomukhasana position, my feet are kind of making a line, and then you can kind of push into the soles of the feet, open the soles of the feet, kind of rotate them a little bit if you would like to. And then whenever you're ready, you're just allowing yourself to keep sinking down, staying here, and you can lean forward to further progress your hip stretch. So leaning your weight forward, I'm pushing my hands down into my feet, grounding down, and then I'm just allowing my chest, weight of my chest and upper body to enhance the stretch. Breathing deep, so especially letting go of those exhales. Checking in with the face here, another 3 or so breaths. So just check in with the jaw, just make sure that you're staying loose with your jaw not clenching, which tends to happen with the tight hips, and you kind of get a little bit complacent with your breath if it gets really intense. So just check in. Take another deep inhale and exhale. And then you can release. So you can lean back and gently undo the legs. You can give them a little shake out in front before you move to the other side, which is going to be the right leg on top and the left leg on the bottom, or right knee on top, left knee on the bottom. So again, Gomukhasana, double pigeon, or Sukhasana, switch your sides. And then again, just feel free to stay upright, be with it, notice the difference in the sides of the body, and just bringing awareness and just whatever information is being handed to you, you just have to deal with it. So if you can hardly get down any further than sitting up straight for this side, then that's perfectly fine too. You just have to sit with it and keep breathing, and again, just put in the practice to hopefully eventually get yourself symmetrical. That's kind of the goal with most of the yoga asana poses, is creating more of a body symmetry, so that it releases or kind of prevents those imbalances more in your mental or emotional state of mind. So through the physical state, we are working in. Eventually getting down through those deeper layers, finding those challenging poses. A lot of the times you say that the yoga starts is when you want to get out of that yoga poses. That's when your yoga starts. So, but again, just noticing also the difference between being uncomfortable and actually being in pain, because sometimes pain is a very useful signal, especially if you have an injury. Then you don't want to push beyond that. But being uncomfortable is another thing, and it's always about learning how to deal with uncomfortable situations, breathing through it. You can start right here, and just getting through it, breathing. We're only going to stay here for another 3 deep breaths. All right, so slowly start to unwind, breathe yourself out of that position and give your legs a little shake out. What we're gonna do now is just get down onto the back. So rolling like a ball, if you would like to go right to happy baby pose right now, you can. Otherwise, hands at the backs of the knees, tuck chin, inhale, rock back. And exhale, roll forward. Okay, you can make little rocks. You don't have to do this full rocking motion. You can do somewhere in between, as long as it feels good in your own body. Okay, when you're ready, go right back to happy baby pose. Just lay it flat on your back and bring the knees in, grabbing onto the knees, grabbing onto the shins, or grabbing onto the feet. Try to pull the hips down and keep breathing. You're rocking side to side now, left to right. Okay, so we're going to add some movement into our reclined twist. From here, we're bringing the knees just above your hips and the feet, the legs are together. Now take your arms out to a T, bring your palms facing down. So what we're going to do is kind of like windshield wipers. We're going to take the knees to the left side first, and as they go to the left, then that top leg is going to straighten out to the side, and maybe the bottom leg straightens out too, but maybe not. Maybe it just stays in, and then we're going to pull it back to center so the knees are bent, and then go over to the other side. Top leg straightens out, and then bring it back to center. Okay, you can do this as slow as you want to go here. We're just kind of, think of this just kind of kicking out to the side, and then bringing it back to center. You use your arms just to kind of hold yourself there, because it does require some core strength to keep yourself kind of more stable in this position. So definitely the harder progression is both legs kind of scissoring out at the same time. And then the easier progression, or the easier version, is just that bottom knee stays bent and the top leg goes straight or somewhat bent. Okay, and then come back to center. Give yourself a hug. Wrap up. Head down to the floor and hold on to the right knee and let your left leg slip away. Down to the ground here. Otherwise, you can keep that knee bent as well, just while you hug here for a moment. Stretching out that hip flexor, and then we're going to take that right knee, cross the body to the left, and down to the floor, as close as you can get. And you can use that left hand to apply that pressure to encourage that stretch, and this should be happening from the low back, pressing the IT band and into the shoulder. You should feel it all throughout. Classic twist here, and you can look over to the right side and just keep breathing. If this twist is too much, like I've always said, you can bring that bottom knee up from underneath and point the knees down below the hips as well. If the twist feels like it's too much, then modify. Slowly releasing from there. We're coming back to center. Give yourself a hug with both knees coming in. Let it go. Hold on to the left knee. Let the right leg slip away straight, or keep the knee bent. Deep breaths in, deep breaths reaching out with the left arm. Modify if you need to. Allow your shoulders to sink down. Deep breath, belly breaths here. So take your time releasing out of that twist and give yourself another hug. Rock up and breathe deep into the spine. Two more deep breaths. Keep holding and hugging. Give yourself lots of love. And then release down. Bring the feet down to the floor with your knees bent. Okay, ending in our windshield wipers just before Shavasana. So take your arms out nice and straight out from your shoulders and separate your feet as wide as your mat. Let the knees go right and left from there. You can also turn your head left and right, kind of twisting that way, letting your whole body just enjoy that twist that's happening. Okay, next time your knees fall to the left side, let's hold there for a moment, just in this relaxed pose. So looking to the left side as well, try to keep your shoulders pulling down, belly relaxed. And let's go to the other side, let the knees fall to the right side. Let your head fall to the right as well. Shavasana from there. So you can straighten out one leg at a time. You can stay with your knees bent so that your low back just kind of feels flattened onto the floor if you wish as well. So otherwise, sitting your arms alongside your body, you can choose whatever position is going to be the most comfortable for you. If you're at home, then maybe you're putting cushions underneath your knees or propped up underneath your back, whatever is going to feel like you can be as still as possible. That's the position you should choose right now. So what we want to do is focus on the breath here right off the bat, taking a deep breath in through the nose. Feel your chest expand, feel your whole belly expand as well. And then a slow exhale out through the mouth. Completely exhale out all the air. And then again, you're repeating that same thing. Deep breath in through the nose. Notice the expansion, filling right up to the top. And then a slow exhale, exhaling all the air out. Enough so that you physically feel like your low back is pulling down. You're physically feeling like you are deflating just like a balloon. And just notice that feeling as well, that exhalation, that sinking feeling, that relaxed feeling, letting go bit by bit. muscles just by taking a long breath out through the mouth. If your inhales are in through your nose. And then you eventually will change your breath patterns, just inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Without trying so hard, but just noticing your breath pattern from there. So the breath pace would start maybe as a 5 count in and a 7 count out, and then you increase those ratios to a 6 and 8 or 7 and 9 as your heart rate decreases, as your breath rate decreases, and you just slow right down. Again, moving to stillness in your body where it's just your breath you can focus on. Allowing your heels to sink into the floor, into the mat. Soften through the backs of the legs, from calf muscles to thighs to glute muscles. Allow your fronts of your thighs to completely relax. Same with your knees, shins, feet. Heavy through the legs. Breathing into your belly, breathing into your spine here from the low back. Feel your mid back sink down a little bit deeper. Feel your upper back spread out and pull down onto the mat. Shoulder blades settle down along with your arm bones, along with the backs of the hands, completely relaxed. Feel the tops of the shoulders get heavy and pull down, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck, and the head, completely resting and relaxed. Notice your breath. Notice space across your forehead. Notice all the muscles around your eyes begin to relax. Notice heavy eyelids. Relax your cheeks. Soften the jaw, and even relax the tongue in your mouth. Soften the throat, collarbones, and completely relax the belly and abdomen. Letting your breath take over as the movement for your body. Watching it come in or watching it leave. Back to your breath. Notice the sound in your breath, the feeling of your body expanding with it. Inhale and releasing on the exhale. Eventually introducing some movement back into your body. So starting with the fingers and toes and gradually adding on down to the arms, the legs. Maybe moving into a twist that feels good in your own body. The windshield wipers again, the morning stretch or both. Yawning. Deeper breaths, getting your body a little more alive, a little more energized. So rolling or rocking over to the right side from there. And just make your way up to seated, continue on your meditation or just continue on your Shavasana journey if that's what you want to do. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great evening. And be sure to check out other videos on this Facebook page from the past. They're all going to be left up there, so you can check them out at your own convenience. And you can also look at videos on YouTube, which they will be uploaded there as well if you are non-Facebooker. So yeah, check out Wednesday's class this week is going to be HIIT Core Yoga at 7 p.m. and that's a more intense class where we jump around and do some sweating and fun stuff. But yeah, if you're not into that, check out next week's class. If I'm not in the studio, I'll be here. I guess we'll find out. Fingers crossed, everyone. So yeah, have a great night, everyone, and leave some comments below and like the page if you like it. Okay, have a good night. Bye.